Wow. It is about 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday.
Beautiful Saturday, the year of our Lord 2020.
We've been in quarantine for the past month, and I think quarantine has officially driven us to madness, Ben. Do you know why?
This movie.
All right, so what did I say we should do today?
Watch Evil Bong.
And so what happens with Evil Bong?
These friends. There's these three guys. One's a jock, one's a stoner, and one's a surfer. And then they get this new guy, and he's a nerd for some reason because I gotta get all the stereotypes. They're living together, and then one of them buys a bong that's evil.
Oh boy. And well, hijinks ensue, right?
This was bad. This was very, very bad. I think it might be worse than Raptor.
Are you serious?
Because at Raptor, at least, yeah, they used stock footage and it was terrible. It wasn't repetitive to the point this was.
Okay, so why was this movie repetitive? Let's explain that to the viewer.
Okay, so what happens was when they smoke from this, when they take a hit from this bong, it takes a bit for them to get stoned, and then they get when they're like out, they're inside the bong. Like I guess it's like the quantum realm.
People online have described it as Bong World.
Yeah, so they're like
It's an
inside
acid.
the bong.
More like an
And-
acid trip.
Yeah, it's like an acid trip, and they're in the strip club,
Yeah, there's a strip club.
and there's always a stripper that has the bra on, and they go to do something, and it eats them. And this happens like 3 times.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing over and over again, and each scene takes like 10-15 minutes. So this movie could have been like a half hour, and it would have been
It's an
Okay.
hour and 20 minutes. There's a scene involving the grandpa that takes forever.
his accent changes throughout the movie too. The grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this movie is literally just—it's trash. Like I thought it was funny at first, but then the joke it just beats you over the head with the same joke over and over and over again. And it's I feel like you could potentially enjoy it if you were high. Like none of us smoke, so we don't know. But like I still feel like stoners would be smart enough to realize that this is absolute trash.
It's just consistent garbage for an hour and 20 minutes.
At least Tommy Chong is in it, and Tommy Chong is the best part of this movie.
It's the bomb, man. It's evil.
Yeah, like it was weird because the beginning of the movie, I'm like, okay, this isn't good, but it's not. It's kind of how I felt with Shark Attack 3 in the beginning. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't a good movie, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And then it just like as the movie went on, it kept just
Being worse.
lower and lower.
It's not just like the kills. They take the scenes and then they just drag them out unnecessarily. Like there was a scene where the girls were leaving the apartment and it just went on forever. I don't know why.
Then there's a scene where they're at the party. No, this whole thing has 2 locations: Bong World and in the room.
The room
So
is
they
made of
have-
cardboard, by the way.
Yeah. So they're at this party, and this girl is high, and she's trying to like get the booger with the sugar with this guy, and she's throwing this like tantrum. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know if they were trying to be like, well, we have to make this a full-length movie, so we have to add these scenes in.
I kind of feel like that was the case.
It wasn't good.
This has to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The only thing keeping me through this experience was seeing the torture or hearing the torture in Ben's voice as we watched this movie.
Yeah, there were multiple times where I was like, what?
This studio's known for cranking out. By the way, there's 6 sequels to this. We are not touching them. We're just
No.
putting that out there right now. One of them is literally it's just the same. over and over again.
And we were watching it, and there's a part with the gingerbread man, and John's like, "Oh, that's the what was it called?"
The Ginger Dead Man, and that is another franchise I am staying the away from.
So is this like a cinematic universe? Was this before
Yeah.
Marvel cinematic universe?
Yeah.
They were like,
This is a cinematic universe. This was a horrible stoner movie. I've seen some funny stoner movies. I think that the stoner movies are funny. Like
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke is hilarious. This makes that movie look like Citizen Kane. Is there anything you did like in this movie? For me, it's Tommy Chong.
oh yeah, he was funny, and then because there's a part where he just pulls a stick of f***ing dynamite.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to take this up a notch.
That's how he kills the bong. He uses the dynamite.
Spoiler.
Who gives a shit? It's the evil bong. It should have been a half hour long. This movie should have been like a little short on YouTube. It should have been an hour-long movie. And honestly,
the beginning, the credits are like 2 minutes. The opening credits.
oh yeah, and they're animated poorly.
Oh, and there's these awful transitions. Oh yeah, the bong behind Jonathan. That is the final form
Of the evil bong.
of the evil. Well, no, she's like that in the bong world, but outside, it's like every time someone uses it,
Yeah.
another feature gets added to her. It
I
was
don't-
just, and it's just like the reaction to like the friend, like when the first friend dies, it's not like, because I'm assuming they were friends. Like they said, we were friends for like since we were little kids. And then like their first thought is, oh, my childhood friend is dead. We have to move the body because we're having a party tonight.
The bong's mouth doesn't move, and when it does, they literally just distort the actual physical image.
And it is the bong is it's a stereotype of an African American lady.
Yeah. Forgot. The set looks like cardboard. The walls in the set look like cardboard.
The strip club was the one they were like, okay, we have to put the money into that.
I mean, because that's where the boobs were. This
Yeah.
movie has a lot of ridiculous and unnecessary nudity, just like Shark Attack 3, but worse.
Shark Attack 3, there was a plot that kept it going. It wasn't good. There was something, but this was just like the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it was. It just beat you over the head with one joke. Like before we did this, I was like, "We're watching the evil bong," and
And
after
at
this,
the
I
end of
was
it,
like,
I was like, oh no, we watched the Evil Bong. There's this scene with the grandpa,
"Oh yeah, the grandpa."
and he's like, yeah, I got a new like wife or something, and then his grandson's like, oh yeah, so maybe I could like screw around with her when you die, and I was like, okay. So
Bunch
this
of-
scene goes on for 5 minutes. Like
It's a bunch-
it feels like 5 minutes.
And then there's that postman who just stares at the camera, the rabbit. Who just
Oh yeah, you said he was in the
smiles
other one.
creepily. Yeah, he is. He's a main character. He becomes a main character, which is another reason why I'm not going to touch any of these other movies with a 10-foot pole. Oh, dude, this movie. I'm just lost for words. I thought it would be funny, like, haha, 420. And Ben knows how immature I am when it comes to this stuff. And I didn't have fun with it. I thought it would
didn't.
be hilarious. It's just,
It was just
Bad.
weird.
it's a disappointment just like life itself is right now.
You know what was weird though? The jock in the beginning of the movie, he's a complete dick to the nerd. And then like a few scenes later, they're like buddy buddy. It's the weirdest. Well, not buddy buddy. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna help you get that girl tonight.
Character development. The evil
Yeah,
bong needed that.
But they didn't show anything. It was after a bong transition, the weed transition.
Honestly, one of the worst movies that I have seen. The worst movie I have seen in 2020. Hands down. But yeah, no, I thought this would be a fun break from the monotony, and I feel like it made everything worse. What would you
yeah.
rate this movie? Are we gonna say it's worse than Raptor?
I think it is worse than Raptor because, like I said, Raptor is a terrible, terrible movie, and this does not make it any better. But Raptor wasn't really like we didn't see the same setup in the scene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like with the murder, like
Yeah.
it wasn't like the same like exact setup, just with different characters.
It didn't make me angry like Raptor did. but it
Oh,
also
yeah.
it's kind of and it also didn't use the stock footage like Raptor did. What are you gonna rate it?
Probably like a 0.5.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. I don't think it's worse than Raptor, if we're being honest, because the only reason I say that is it had the redeeming factor of decent music and Tommy Chong being funny. It was a chore to get through, but I honestly wasn't as angry. Okay, so basically,
That's still better.
I say it's slightly better than Raptor. You say it's slightly worse. That's
Yeah.
okay. Hopefully, we don't find a movie that is worse than Raptor. But anyways, thank you for watching the Evil Bong review with Ben and I. I'm John,
I'm Ben.
and once school gets out, we're gonna be doing a whole lot of nothing. So please, I guess we're gonna have to watch more movies.
Yeah.
Please pick something that's better, Ben.
Alright, so like 10,000 BC.